Okay, cool. Now we're gonna record. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Bill, can we hear you? Do you want to say something? I can't hear you. Nothing. Hey, Linda. We're already recording, so I can't hear anything live, so I don't know if you're ringing a bell or anything.
Can't hear anything live either.
Right.
Andy.
Can't hear anything.
Check.
Everything was working 3 minutes ago.
Nothing there?
Now.
Yeah, we can hear vaguely.
Now, can you hear me now?
I don't hear anything.
It's like,
Very soft.
No.
I'm going to do the opening segment as soon as they are ready. So if everybody will go on mute for the moment, that'd be great. Bill, no sound. Nothing. Amazing how this happens. We take 7 hours to set up, and at the moment, this could be a prayer work story if everybody wants to jump on that.
Can you hear us now?
Yes,
Yes.
That's working.
All right.
right after the mention of prayer.
There you go. See,
You hear us now?
can hear you now. It is a
You can hear
little,
us now? You can?
yes.
It's working?
Yes.
Phew. Play the thing. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do something fun. Let's go on vacation. Let's take some time off just to do something fun with none of the usual to-do list that we have to deal with from day to day. And let's do it right now. And it'll only take a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take a break. Give yourself the gift of a moment. Allow yourself to stop doing and simply be. Because you are a bright light of love, and for you, being is more than enough.
Love, 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 love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn to play the game. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nothing you can know where you can be, but isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Ginger. Strictly speaking, you don't need love because you are love, but I get the sentiment. Good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia.
Good morning.
3 years in, it's always wonderful to hear that coming back because usually I'm just sitting in my office. Imagine. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our first Sunday at the Fallser Club here in East Falls. We got I don't know, a dozen people here, a dozen people online. It is wonderful to have you here. This is an opportunity for love to unfold. So let's give it a try. We're going to do a cacophony in person and at home. Go ahead and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open
I open myself to love.
All I need is love.
All I am is love.
All I am is
All I
love.
am is love.
Love is right here, right now.
Love is
Love
right
is
here.
right here,
now.
right
Right
now.
now.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
People on Zoom, go ahead and mute yourself. People in the room, please behave yourself. I am Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. Our music today is the amazing Ginger Coyle. Yes, there will be a concert by Ginger following the celebration today.
Thank you.
And our practitioners for the day are Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, and Jesus Baez, RSCP, who will lead us in our opening prayer.
Thank you, Rev. Thanks everybody out there in Zoom and right here together in this unity. We're going to do a practical prayer. It's always a privilege and honor to direct this prayer. Be specific, and a practical prayer is personal. We make it universal today. Powerful, positive, and present. It's right here. Everything is happening right here and right now. They say, well, I got to do a practical prayer, but let me just say this. It was a deli around my neighborhood. They say free ice cream tomorrow. I went tomorrow. They say read the sign. It says tomorrow. Tomorrow never gets here. So let's go within and see that goodness and feel all that truth. And imagine that you're going to that vacation. You are in a vacation right now because everything's happened right now. It's not like tomorrow we're going to work. Oh, we're going to have some fun. So the prayer is have fun, whatever you do. It was an old saying that say, in the door of the miserable rich guy is a content beggar. Not because we saying poverty is a virtue, is that happiness doesn't come through wealth, just come to knowing who we are. So in this moment of truth, this moment of unity, with one person, one power, that person that is in each one of us, that power that we use constructively and for the benefit of each one of us and the benefit of those around us, whatever we desire, just believe that you have it and it's ours. So with that love, that wisdom, being here today in this place of love, because that's all it is, love permeating this place. In our homes, wherever we at in this moment. Doesn't matter the space and time, just that unity that each one bring together with that brotherly and sisterly love. I'm grateful and thankful for the music, for the meditation, for the talk, for the reading, for the flames, for the sharing, that each one bring that gift together to the altar of love, which is right here, right now. So as we here in this place of love, that word love comes, that word love is each one of us. It's not by strength or with a sword, it's with the Spirit of the Lord. Bringing all our cares and put into the altar of love, because that love cares for each one of us. And I'm grateful and thankful for this unity of love. And I release my word and I claim it for each one of us here right now. This good and more good, more love, because it's an infinite universe. So I release this word to the creative medium that always say yes. And once again, to say yes. So it is. Amen.
So it is.
Thank you, Jesus. You're powerful, yeah. So the reason that we do a prayer, as you know, is because it changes our experience. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself. The talk this morning is going to be entitled Prayer Works. So, but I can't talk about that too much. What we want to do right now, though, is if there is a prayer that you have been involved in, and it's been creating something new in your life, go ahead and raise your hand. And if you're in the room, come on up to the front because the people at Zoom will be able to see you. What is working in your life in prayer now? And people who are on remote, you can wave your, like Linda is demonstrating. Go ahead, Linda.
Hang on, I had got some weird screen came up. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see your faces. So here's my prayer work story that I worked on a couple of days ago. The people that I'm pet sitting for were like, they're coming back Saturday, they're coming back Monday, they're coming back Sunday, they're coming back all these different times. And so I went, you know what? If you're coming back on Sunday, you need to come back later in the day so I can actually watch the football game. And guess what? They landed 8 o'clock. So woohoo.
There you go. They're flying into Phoenix at 8 o'clock during the, okay, cool. Whatever you want to do. Anybody else have a prayer work story that you would like to share? There are lots of them percolating around. Come on up, Carlanne, because you're going to talk in a minute anyway.
That's your green on.
Thank
You're
you.
green.
Hi, everybody. Go Eagles. So I actually have a couple. I had COVID last week and I promise I don't have it now. I took a test yesterday. It was negative, and today and it was negative. But I so didn't want to watch my favorite football team win the Super Bowl all by myself on my computer at home. And I don't have to because I just had 2 negative COVID tests. So that's number one. Yay, go Birds. And the second one, you know, you've all heard I'm job hunting again. And I didn't want it to be the same experience I had the last time, which I sent out, honestly, probably very close to 500 resumes. And oh my gosh, I just can't even tell you how many interviews. I don't want that experience again. And I'm not shooting for that experience again. And I have been doing continual practical prayers about it. And I don't seem to be having that experience. I'm talking to a couple organizations. I'm actually consulting for an organization, not actually getting money for it, but company units, which is awesome. And it's just a different experience, but I feel confident that something's going to happen. I'm not freaking out every 2 minutes about like what's gonna happen. I'm just calm and in the flow and doing different things and trying different things. And that's my story. And practical prayer works because it's nice to be in the flow. Yay.
Anybody else? A story?
I do.
Remote?
I do.
Oh, Ginger has one.
Well, mine has just been kind of like an unfolding. Today's concert is a prayer work story. You know, I knew I was coming back and I wanted to be able to share this album that's taken nearly a decade to have in my hands finally. And Bill and Dina said, why don't you do the Falzer Club and why don't you play here and have something afterwards? And it's turned out to be it's going to be a great afternoon of just intimate sharing. And I'm excited for it. And I'm excited for the unfolding of being at the Anton conference. All the things that I've been praying for to help support the album have just been unfolding perfectly. Even the team of people that has come along the way and is even now still unfolding to create video content and radio and everything. Is just the right people are popping up and they're aligned and it feels great. And I didn't have to stress about it. I just had to pray about it. And yeah, prayer works. So thank you. Thank you guys.
Indeed, prayer works. Make one of those for yourself. And Ginger, the CD release was supposed to be like a week ago.
It was.
But then it didn't happen. So technically I'm claiming this is a CD release concert.
Yes.
Carla.
Oh, I hope I don't botch this because I missed rehearsal, but this championship information is on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up on the website so that we can keep in touch. You need to be beyond limits. It's our transformational introduction to the New Thought teaching. 10 Tuesdays on Zoom, 7 to 9:30, starting March 7th. Register now. Beyond Limits is awesome. So if you haven't tried it, do it. There's a live practical prayer workshop on Zoom on Saturday, March 25th from 12:50 to 5 p.m. It wraps up with a live musical exercise with the amazing Daniel Namod. Twice a day, we have a metaphysical meditation on Zoom. Everyone is welcome. They're inspiring, fun, and quick, less than 15 minutes start to finish. Healing the Divide. Conversations on Racial Justice resumes on February 21st with a 6-week study on the Racial Healing Handbook by Annalise Singh on Tuesday mornings at 10:30. Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer online class is now available. It features 5 lessons, including a live musical experience with Amy Steinberg. Enroll now and save 50%. Movie night is back on Sunday with a screening of You Can Heal Your Life, the story and life and works of Louise Hay, 7 p.m. via Zoom. That's next Sunday, right? Next Sunday, not during the Eagles game. Episode 88 of Reverend Bill's, Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer Podcast is Oneness, Part 2. Get it where you get your podcast. Watch the live recording session online on Monday at 1 p.m. For our social media on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, follow our social media, and join the 1,382 spiritual adventures in our group on meetup.com. The Power of 8 Intention Circle meets on Zoom every Monday evening at 6:30. The Women's Circle meets on Zoom on the first Monday and the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Contact Sandy for information about either of these. We are grateful for your tax-deductible donations by Zelle, Cash App, check. I don't know what that is. Oh, got it. Zelle, Cash App, check. They're still checks. Who knew?
What's a check?
Who had any idea? PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit cards. I know, it's crazy. Thank you to the team that makes our Zoom celebrations work and has a lot of fun doing it. Go team, woo! And to join that, get more information or to join, contact Sandy. Sandy's our girl. Next Sunday is online with the frog and the quarterback. Guest speaker, Reverend Brock Ford, shares an important lesson about manifesting our dreams, even in the face of negativity and chatter from others. Music by Anna W. And stay with us with Ginger this afternoon, which will also be in the Zoom meeting. The next hybrid meeting is on a Sunday, is here at the Falzer on March 12th, and that's featuring John Conan. And Reverend Bill and Joe and Jesus are available for professional sessions by appointment, and that's all of our practitioners. Okay. Yay!
So we have some new people in the room. And I'm not seeing any new people on Zoom. So the folks who are attending with us for the first time, if you please just stand up for a second. We would like to give you a little bit of a blessing. You don't have to do anything. You're just going to receive.
If she's got a boot on, she can't stand, but. Oh yeah, Diane went to the previous location, but my aunt has a boot. She sprained her ankle.
All right, you can remain seated.
Stand in
You
spirit.
can virtually stand.
Virtually
Let's just
stand.
rub our hands together. Feel the love, feel the warmth. Send that love out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining that light and sharing that love with us today. And welcome home. Yeah, and we have a welcome packet, which Sarah will run over to you. People who come back for the second time get a lovely combination key ring, flashlight, and pen as a way of saying thank you, and another really cool blessing. So as Ginger does the next song, which is actually a really fun song for getting together with your neighbor, the folks in the room are going to basically wander around and say hey to each other. The people who are on Zoom, please go into gallery view and make eye contact with the folks who you are neighbors with. And the people who are here, if you come right up to the front, you can wave into the back of the iPad here. And that's kind of a way of saying hey.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Oh, would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Oh, could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the best of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Oh, could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please, won't you be my neighbor?
You should have like been taking off your sweater and your shoes, or maybe tying your shoes, Bill.
If you'd like to see me tie my shoes sometime, just say so. I'd be happy to do that for you. We light Flames of Faith every week, and this time we're going to be led remotely from Milwaukee, Wisconsin by Carolyn.
And by the way, I'm a practitioner too. We perform the ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call Spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Kind of like having a race there. See who's gonna, the candles or the words gonna come in first. Our reading today is being shared with us by Annie.
Prayer as consciousness of the allness of life. And this is from Practical Metaphysics, a new insight in truth. The key to understanding prayer is allness. I use this term often, but it's so important. I use it interchangeably with the word God. So often when we use the word God, we think out, we think up, we think something separate. As long as we think something separate, we've created a separation that exists only within us and otherwise does not exist. Prayer can only be effective when we think oneness. So instead of thinking of God, I think allness. Allness means totality. It's not out there somewhere. It's the whole thing. In other words, you might use the word universe, the whole of things. All life is present. If there's allness, the whole is present. All life is present. All wisdom is present. All substance is present. All guidance is present. All love is present. We live and move and have our being in this allness, which is present, not absent. Prayer is not trying to get more of life, to get more love from God, but instead to know our oneness. The psalmist sang, "Be still and know that I am God." Trying to get more is to be still and know that I am the activity of life, all life, expressing at the point where I am. I need to know that. The fact is, we don't know it, and because we don't know it, we lose the consciousness of it. When we're out of the awareness of the allness of life, we experience separation and deterioration. The need is not for God to give us more life, but for us to be more aware of the allness of life, which is present in how I live and move and have my being. The wonderful part of the creative process is that the allness is ever seeking to fulfill itself in the eachness. This is a play on words, but it's important that we see this. I am an eachness within the allness of God. Jesus would say, "It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." And the kingdom, he says, is not here nor there, but it's within you. The kingdom is the whole that is present even in the part. The kingdom is the oak tree that is present even in the seed. It's the Christ that is present even in the disbelieving person. It's the allness of God that is present in the individual at the point where he is.
There are people who have let their problems of today lead them to conclude that for them life is not the way. But every problem has an answer, and if yours you cannot find, you can talk it over with them. They will give you peace of mind. If you feel your life's too hard, just go have a talk with God. Many of us feel we walk alone without a friend, never communicating with the one who lives within, forgetting all about the one that's never ever let you down. You can talk it over with them, 'cause they're always around. If you feel your life's too hard, just go have a talk with God. He's the only free psychiatrist who's known throughout the world for solving all the problems of men, women, little boys and girls. If you feel your life's too hard, just go have a talk with God. If your load's too much to bear, oh, just go talk to God, she cares. If you feel your life's too hard, oh, just go have a talk with God.
Thank you, Ginger. And when you go have a talk with God, you go within. You have a talk, you don't like need to leave the room. That's kind of what the whole point is there. The talk today is about prayer works. And that's a statement that operates in a bunch of different ways, because prayer works. It does. It actually is a method of creating a change in the experience in our lives. And we all know that. We've seen that happen, sometimes in grand, dramatic ways that begin with, "You're not going to believe this, but," and in other ways where things just kind of happen and they're kind of okay. Did we have an issue? It's the one that says orange. Or microphone O. I think it's the, yeah, that's probably it. Is that better for the people who are remote? Can you hear me? Hear that? Yeah. Okay. As I was saying, prayer works. And we know it works because we've seen it work. And sometimes it's about looking a fact in the face and knowing something better. And knowing something better makes way for something different to happen. Just like when the volume isn't loud enough to be able to hear something, you can look that fact in the face and not just say, "Oh, well, I have to sit here not being able to hear." You can go, "I see something better." And perhaps we're guided to actually do something about it, to take a step, to be active in the world. And sometimes what we're guided to is to be patient, let go of our attachment to how we thought things were going to go together, and see what new thing can come into being. Reverend Dr. Johnnie Coleman in Chicago, who was the founder of the Christ Universal Temple, and she started one of the branches of New Thought called the Universal Foundation for Better Living. Very, very powerful woman. And one of her favorite phrases was, "It works if you work it." Now that applies to prayer work for sure. Because if I sit here saying, "Well, I could change the experience of my life by doing a prayer," and all we do is say, "I could do that," or we say, "I could do a prayer," or almost as unproductive, "I'm gonna do a prayer." You can't gonna do a prayer. You're gonna do a prayer or don't. But if you're gonna do a prayer, do it now. Stop, drop, and pray. Because your circumstance and situation is not going to get better by itself while you wait to pray. If you have been called for a prayer to invite a different experience into your life, do it now. And the interesting thing about prayer is it's past tense. Prayer is always about stuff that has already happened. When our prayers show up in our lives, it's stuff that's already changed. So when I set a new intention for something new to come into life, when I do that prayer, it's in this moment now. And what I'm anticipating is the experience unfolding as it shows up in my rearview mirror is going to have been that which I was intending, inviting, allowing, or really wanting to have happen. Another one where, it works if you work it. Anybody ever been on a workout plan where you're exercising, trying to build up some muscles? I want to be able to bench press this much. I want to do this many push-ups or pull-ups or run this far or whatever it happens to be. You don't start with being able to run the marathon. You start by working the program that gets you to the point where you can run the marathon. It works if you work it. And if you have a great plan for training to run a marathon and choose to leave the shoes off and the tush on the couch, the marathon plan is going to change, not necessarily in the way that you said you wanted it to. Same thing with a diet program. The results always show up in the rearview mirror or after the fact. Hopefully the rearview mirror, the view back there is getting smaller. And I in my life have been involved in lots of different diet programs, and all the effective ones only work if I work them. Some of them were kind of like too sketchy to begin with. They weren't going to work anyway. But the ones that actually are valid programs, they work if you work it. Prayer is not mental. Prayer is not about making something happen, to say, I'm going to make this happen in my life and then creating it. Prayer is an act of faith. And as an act of faith, it's about letting go of our attachment to how we think or say things ought to go, so that we can have a new experience that's different than what we had been anticipating, what we've already been experiencing, and bring that into our lives. So it's impossible to get through the talk on Super Bowl Sunday without mentioning the Super Bowl. When the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, it's doubly important to mention the Super Bowl. And there's a lot of thought that your team's in the Super Bowl. Woohoo, this is awesome. Let's pray for them to win. Okay, you can do that. The thing, though, that makes the Super Bowl really interesting is that the two teams that are playing are really closely matched, which means that it's going to be interesting to watch. Okay, so it's the fun. This is one of those exercises in duality. I know we say that there is no such thing as duality. There is one power and presence. But what we do in our physical lives, in our experiences as humans, is I get to identify that's which is within me, and then the other things that are outside of me. The things that I enjoy, which I call good, and the things that I don't enjoy, which I call bad. And then I've got a scale. I've got a little temperature gauge where I can get the ratings between the stuff I like and the stuff that I don't like. Same thing with a temperature gauge. Is it warm in here or is it cool in here? Well, if you're one of those people who runs hot, then it's warm in here. And if you're one of those people who runs cool, then it's cool in here. It's the same temperature for everybody. So it's just about how you're experiencing that temperature as to whether it's warm or cool. So anyway, the Super Bowl is a great opportunity for us to say, let's take this one infinite creative power and presence, this one divine love that shares itself as everything, and we're going to divide it into two teams. And we're going to root for one of them, okay? And then we're going to boo the other one of them. And the reason that we do that is because it's fun, okay? It's just fun to do that. And that's okay. Have fun doing that. You want to pray to win the Super Bowl? I guarantee you, absolutely no question, somebody's prayer will be answered this evening. And Phillies fans, Eagles fans rather, if you remember back 2 weeks ago, what you really wanted was to win the championship, because that was in question. And then the week before that, you were praying to get into the championship. So this prayer work story has actually been going on for quite some time. And have fun, because we are here as humans to have a joyous experience in human form. Doesn't change our spiritual nature. We are still divine expressions of that infinite presence taking individual form. So go to the game, get a really expensive hot dog, cheer your team on, celebrate when they win, boo when they lose. If you're a typical Philadelphia fan and the team loses, there will be rioting and misbehavior in the streets. And if the team wins, there will be partying and misbehavior in the streets. So there's actually only a little bit of difference in there. And if the prayer for the Super Bowl, we're thinking about the big game, we want to win. More than that, maybe we want to have fun. More than that, though, there's other stuff that's going on. Maybe survival is going to be good. You know, it wasn't that many weeks ago that Damar Hamlin collapsed and needed CPR on the field. Well, if you were choosing my team winning or people dying, all right, maybe winning is not as important as it had been previously. You know, there's other stuff that's going on in the world that is maybe not as important as the Super Bowl. Maybe it is. There's an earthquake in Syria and Turkey last week. Death toll over 28,000 at this point. And we get to sit here and think, oh, well, you know, this is a national championship sporting event. Nothing like an earthquake could ever happen. Oh, wait a second, 1989 in San Francisco. There was an earthquake during the World Series, and it was the Oakland A's playing the San Francisco Giants. The two teams were local. Both of their stadiums got ruined. So when you look at it from that perspective, a good outcome for the game will be just having the game and being able to enjoy the game, whatever way it comes out. So let's put our attention to the good that we're really seeking, the prayers that we're actually intending. What's the good that's going to show up in our lives? And it shows up in Scripture about how this prayer thing actually works. There are a couple of great stories in the New Testament. Actually, it's the same story told two different ways. It's about the fig tree. I don't know if you know the story. Jesus was walking down the road and he was hungry and he saw a fig tree and he went over to the fig tree, but it doesn't have any figs on it. And so he cursed the fig tree. He says, never grow anything again. And the fig tree withered. And the gang of merry men that was with Jesus said, whoa, what's that about? And he said, and there are actually two different versions of it. In Matthew 21, 18 to 22. Early in the morning, as Jesus was on the way back to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it, but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, may you never bear fruit again. Immediately the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. How did the fig tree wither so quickly? They asked. Jesus replied, truly, I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and it will be done. And here's the important part, because the rest of it is preamble. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Now, personally, I think Jesus might have been a little cranky that morning. A little hangry, because he probably could have just left the fig tree alone. But, you know, fig tree withered, there's a good teaching moment in there. I think the story is told even better in Mark 11. Have faith in God, Jesus answered. Truly, I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And when you start praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins. Oh, wait a second. There's a little left turn right after the you can have anything you want in prayer. There's, I have to do something. Really? And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them. It works if you work it. If I've been eating cheeseburgers and pizza and putting on weight, and I want a program that's going to get me to my new desired weight, and I have the assumption that I'm going to keep eating pizza and cheeseburgers, I am probably not going to get the result of the diet plan I've described. I am going to get the result of the diet plan I am practicing. I have to let go. I have to forgive whatever it is that I've been doing. I have to get past that so I can make room for something new. And that's what Jesus is saying as well. You get to firmly believe that it's happening, that it's going to happen, that it continues happening. Open yourself up to that good and let go of whatever hasn't been working so far. It works if you work it. And we're all praying all the time. Some people who are very highly spiritually attuned understand that that prayer is going on all the time. We understand that when a circumstance shows up in our lives, we can stop, drop, and pray. We can go within and identify that infinite creative power that creates everything and invite it to create something new. Get ourselves out of the way, turn it over to the infinite, and invite in something new. And even people who describe themselves as atheists are doing the same thing all the time. It is done for you as you believe. And actually the way this is, as you have believed, as you have received is how you have believed. It's rearward looking. So you want to know what you've been praying for? You want to know what you believe? Look at your life. Your life is a very clear picture of what you've been believing up until now. And the good news is you are free to change it. Those old beliefs that are no longer serving, when you're ready to let them go, you can let them go. Is it easy? Anybody? Is it easy? They're all going, no, not easy. It is not necessarily easy. It can be easy. It can be transformational. Sometimes it takes years and years and years of pain, and then suddenly something happens and it changes immediately. And from this moment on, this breakthrough moment on, it's different. Is that breakthrough moment for you today? None of my business. I don't know. You get to decide. Some of our teachers say that we are either pulled by passion or pushed by pain. And when there is something that we're yearning for, something that we're desiring to the point where, oh my goodness, this is going to make my life transformed, and we're willing to commit everything to it, we invite in that transformation. And sometimes things get so bad that we get so far down to the bottom, we feel like we've got no place else to go but up. We get to choose, okay, up is going to be good for me. And that can be a diet program. It can be a sobriety program. It can be a prayer program. It's about choosing. It's about setting that intention, letting go of what hasn't served us in the past and opening to something brand new. And oh, by the way, when we do it, the universe is sitting there with a cheering squad and pom-poms and $6 million ads ready to celebrate us and our victory and our success. So pray for something fabulous, invite in something wonderful into your life because you deserve it. You are a winner. So it is.
Sometimes in that letting go before you stop, drop, and pray, and you want to change, there's grace. So we're going to do Amazing Grace with Om chant like I like to do. And so that'll be 2 ohms held for 4 counts each in between each verse. So sit up in your chair, take a deep breath in from your diaphragm, your belly, not your chest. None of us are wretches. So I say, saved and set me free. That's another thing. If you want to sing along, please do. Again. I can't hear you. Don't be afraid, it feels great. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved and set me free. I once was lost and now am found, was blind, but now I see. Oh, imagine it coming through the top of your head. Oh, 'twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Oh, through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Oh, when we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've known less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Oh,
the sound that saved and set me free. I once was lost, and now I am found. Was blind, and now I see. Oh. Two more times. Thank you. Thank you, Ginger. Oh, thanks, Joe. So we're going to do some meditation. Can you hear me? As I pull this together and thinking about the reading and the talk, maybe we should just pray for forgiveness. Because if it all comes from forgiveness, what else do we need? I don't know. And then I think of the Eckhart Tolle quote, if the only prayer you say is thank you, it will be enough. And it made more sense to me after listening to the talk. But I think what it's all predicated on, it is done unto you as you believe. So maybe that's another place to start. So we've got thank you, forgiveness, faith. And we're really asking for that. And that's the allness. We're asking for that allness. So let's get comfortable in our chairs. Sit up straight if you can. Let your shoulders drop. You can close your eyes if you want to, or just let your eyes go into a soft focus. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Breathe in. Nice and full. Deep breath. Hold it. And release. Release with a sigh. One more deep breath. Take it in really deep. Hold it at the top. Let it all out. Release it slowly. One more deep breath. Bring it in, hold it at the top, and release. Feel yourself connected, whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat in the chair, but connect it and ground it. And just feel yourself connected at your head to that infinite space above us. I am in eachness, in the allness. The allness of love and wisdom. I forgive everything. I have faith that it will be done unto me as I believe. Faith is knowing that what we don't see is coming to us right now. We can't see it, but we know it. That's faith.
What do I have to forgive? What do I have to be grateful for? And what do I have faith that I will have, or feel, or do, or be? Let that faith and forgiveness and gratitude be our companions as we go into the silence. Allow them to accompany us.
As Job was speaking of forgiveness, looking in the rear view mirror, we see resentment, anger, regret. When we hold on to these things, it's like drinking poison and waiting to the rat to die. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet shed on the heels that crushed it. Prayer and faith, like Hebrews said, is the substance of the evidence not seen. To not get real theological, it's a simplicity in the teaching, in meditation. Faith, like prayer, it's just knowing that God will do it. With no doubt, no fear, just gratitude and thanksgiving in the heart of man and women. Coming into a realization, a recognition, a revelation of divinity within, flowing through our experience, our life. Forgiveness is the highest gift that we receive from Spirit. Then we could hear the word, holy, holy, holy. We are whole and complete. When we could take all those things that do not serve us up to now to the cleanness of God and put on the robe of kingship, put on the ring of authority, and put on the shoes of life journey. Take a deep breath in. Let it go and come back to the celebration as Ginger will play this beautiful song for us.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're feeling discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you just gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I am only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I am only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I am only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thank you.
Release and I let go. I am free in the Spirit. Yeah, that's the ticket. We're now to the point in our celebration where we get to share our story. There's something that has come up for you, a seed that has been planted, something you want to talk about. Go ahead and wave your hand and give a chance to give voice to that. Lynn, was that your hand waving or are you just adjusting your phone? Okay, no takers, just adjusting your phone. Anybody here in the room? Annie Steele, come on up. Come on down. You can be the next contestant.
I mean, it's funny that I said what have I won, but I was thinking about, why has New Thought worked for me? And I think she stole that saying, it works if you work it, from another organization, but I'll just leave it there. When I came to New Thought, dragged by Dave, I didn't think it would work. So that's kind of weird, because it's like, oh, it works if you think it's gonna work, and I didn't think it would work. But just being around other people that did have that belief.
You got infected.
Right. So it rubbed off on me. And the change, like, that's possible. Like, I'm going through a pretty significant change in my life, and it's been horrible as far as like, oh, what's happening next? But my day-to-day life, my sister's like, you're under so much stress. And I was like, actually, I'm not. I feel pretty good, because I'm using all the tools and the resources that I was taught in this community, and I have people to lean on. And it's like, I am so grateful. I'm leaning into that. Like, wow, thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody. Like, I'm not freaking out. It's like, okay, what's next? And hearing Carla, well, it's going to be exciting, whatever it is. I don't know. So I can't wait. Maybe 3 months, 6 months, more will be revealed. And I'll tell you guys all about it.
That's the question. Oh my gosh, should I be freaking out? Will it help? Would you like to be freaking out? Because you certainly can, but maybe it's not necessary. Maybe we can skip that. Anybody else? Something to share? All right, I'm going to invite Carla Ann to come back up and do another.
I mean,
Oh, got
just
Ginger?
to add to what Ann said, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, Norman Taylor invited me to come sing with him on a Sunday when I was going through some really upside down things. And I was like, they're trying to get me to sing at church. I don't think so, buddy. And he was like, no, just give it a chance. And the way it has transformed my entire life, even as an artist, the things I want to say in my music, the words I'm using that I'm delivering to audiences, I'm realizing the power. And that's my whole album is now has been changed by this community and other communities, all the New Thought communities. And did I ever think that I would be releasing a sort of conscious record for New Thought communities to receive? Not in a million bajillion years. But I'm so grateful, because it's opened up, it's freed me. It's freed me in a lot of ways. So thank you for allowing me.
Yeah, and what? Of course, I was a professional wise ass on the radio. What are the chances of me turning into a minister? But it's the same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. By the way, the Ginger Coil concert is going to start at 12:45. So the folks on Zoom, you can jump off, jump back on. It's going to be the same Zoom meeting later on, the usual one that we use for meditations and celebrations. Carla?
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We have a basket in the room and a donate button on the website to make your donations by credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, or this crazy thing called a check that you can mail to our office in Ardmore. I know. We are grateful for every way that you share. The offering affirmation is on the screen, and so please unmute and we'll say the affirmation together.
I
live in an abundant universe.
and
one with the infinite source of all good.
Center.
I am
a
the center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life. I bless my gift. I share my gift with gratitude and joy. I know that as I give,
I do receive. So it is. Amen.
It is.
That's a cacophony. Yeah. We'll get the volume tweaked just perfectly right now. And as soon as Ginger's finished talking one more song.
Everybody's waiting on a revolution. lift the veil up from the grand illusion. I think first it's gonna take a revelation, shift our minds and consciously awaken to the positivity human beings should be, full of love and light and inner peace, vibrates to a higher frequency, higher, higher, higher. When I was young, I looked for love in empty places. I got myself into some situations. Now I've grown, I know my past does not define me, and all the love I could ever need is here inside of me. It took so long for me to see it was waiting here for me. The love, the light, the inner peace vibrates to a higher frequency, higher, 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 higher. You can walk the earth in search of every explanation, but be aware of your own co-creation. Take responsibility for your conditions, and don't forget the power of your own volition. There is joy just as there is pain. They are one and the same. It's a choice you choose to make. Vibrates to a higher frequency, higher, 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 higher. I am love, I am light, I am inner peace. You are love, you are light, you are inner peace. We are love, we are light, we are inner peace. Be the love, be the light, be the inner peace. Thank you so much.
Accept these gifts knowing this goes into circulation, supporting each of us individually, all of us together, and the way that we're bringing consciousness and love into the world. So it is.
So it is.
Let's have a cacophony. Guys in the room, stand up and make a circle, or hold hands, or touch elbows, or stay socially distanced, or whatever feels comfortable. You who are remotely, go ahead and unmute and repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am light.
I believe.
I believe.
Receive.
Receive.
I am on a championship team.
I am on a championship team.
So it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen. Blessed be.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, have a great Sunday.
You too.
Go Eagles. Woohoo!
Yeah, Eagles.
And they're here.